Forgot the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the reaction video. Today we'll be checking out TierZoo, how wolves broke the game. Now, I know in the comment section in my last video, if you watched it, I said I'd react to the deep sea crustacean, deep sea tier list or whatever the hell that is, just because I said something about deep sea creatures or whatever. But since then, they've uploaded a new video. We're going to react to the newest one, and then we'll do the deep sea creature one. So we're going to find out how wolves broke the game. Now, if I had to take a little gander on how they broke the game, I'm going to say probably with teamwork through the pack. When a wolf hunts, they lock into the prey, and they only react when the prey reacts in a certain way. So if the prey doesn't react to intimidation, the wolf will leave it, and that's something that very unlikely that you're going to be stuck in the forest with wolves. But if that was the occasion and wolves surround you and bark or howl at you, the key is not to react. If you don't react, they don't care. They won't go for you. So yeah, little wolf fact of the day. Bro, this is an 11-minute long video, so let's not waste any more time and get straight into it. TierZoo, how wolves broke the game.
Incredibly overpowered beasts. Smilodon's Saber Fang perk enabled it to one-shot nearly any other player in the game. The short-faced bear was seemingly invincible, being the largest carnivorous mammal build of all time. And
obviously, guys who don't know TierZoo, they look at the animal kingdom as if it were a game, and we're going to rank some stuff.
Cave hyena had an absurdly powerful bite force, able to crack bones and tear incredible amounts of flesh with every bite. Yet, of the Ice Age's top predators, the one which proved to be the most resilient and indeed the most successful was the wolf. Even though wolves are nowhere near as massive or as powerful as these other Ice Age monsters, today the wolf build is,
I'm telling you, I'm going to guess it's teamwork.
It's practically synonymous with ferocity and hunting prowess. But what is it about wolves that made them such a force of nature? Today we'll find out. So, wolves are part of the carnivoran archetype, which became popular during the Miocene update. The main perk of this archetype is something called carnassial teeth, a
Carnissifer teeth? Canines?
trait which greatly improves the ability of
they're the back ones, okay. They're not the front ones.
carnivorous builds to consume food. Rather than needing to swallow things whole or mercilessly slam dunking the daylights out of things until they fall apart, carnassial teeth enable the player to bite off small chunks of meat, which might seem like a small thing, but really it opens up tons of new opportunities for carnivorous playstyles, including for scavenging carcasses and for sharing large.
I guess I might be lying. I might be telling an absolute lie right now, but I'm pretty sure if you chew your food more, you digest it better as well, so you get more nutrients out of it if you chew your food better. So I guess that makes sense. That I could be lying, but I think that's how it works.
Kills among teammates. The carnivoran archetype is split into two main factions: feliforms and caniforms. There are
Yeah, I think I've heard. Yeah, I know about
a
this.
ton of differences between these two, but I'll try and simplify them into how the differences play out in practice. At their core, feliforms are adapted to being hyper-carnivorous ambush predators, whereas caniforms are more generalist in nature. This is most obvious in their snouts, which have different shapes.
That salmon just wanted that bear.
Forms are more generalist in nature.
He just casually bear's like, I'll take that. But if you guys have seen the videos of bears that are like camping, the spawn camping salmons, it's crazy to me. I think the salmons need to come up with a new game strategy.
This is most obvious in their snouts, which have different shapes and lengths. Caniforms tend to have longer, less compact snouts. This enables them to carry a wide range of different types of teeth, suited for a more omnivorous playstyle. You have some teeth for dealing damage, some for shearing meat, some for crunching bones or nuts, and even some for chewing on plant fibers. Meanwhile, feliforms have shorter snouts, enabling them to have a higher bite force, but limiting them to pretty much only having teeth meant for either dealing damage or shearing off chunks of meat. The longer caniform snout gives them other advantages too. The larger nasal cavity enables them to breathe more efficiently and intake more oxygen. This gives caniform
I imagine a longer chase time, right?
builds much greater stamina, enabling them to run for much greater distances without tiring. It also facilitates their vastly superior sense of smell, which enables them to
I was going to say that's something else that wolves and canines in general have going for them. The sense of smell is ridiculous. Off the chart. Come on.
track prey, scavenge for food, and find teammates. So it makes sense why just about every feliform build is an ambush predator, whereas caniforms can be anything from acrobatic marine builds to slow tanky herbivores. Focusing more specifically on
I don't know, a panda counts as that? I guess it is a bear.
wolves though, pretty much everything I've said so far about the caniform build applies here. But for a more in-depth analysis, let's take a look at the wolf's base stats. So
All right, let's have a look at these stats then. High intelligence we expected. Power, I think I was expecting power to maybe be a little bit lower. Defense is, yeah, mobility, health, stealth. I would have thought stealth would be maybe about 60. And perception, yeah, max, obviously.
So, as ferocious as wolves are thought to be, their power stat is fairly mid for an apex predator. Wolves aren't really going to be one-shotting anything larger than a rabbit with their bite attacks. And due to the non-retractability of their claws, they aren't going to be doing much damage with their paw swipe either. And yet, taking out players above their own weight class is a signature aspect of the wolf's strategy. This is typically done by chaining strings of bite attacks together in order to inflict the blood loss status condition, which drains the target's health and stamina over time. When executed properly by a pack of wolves, this can bring down basically anything, no matter how large the target. But obviously, since this is not a quick process, there's a lot of room for mistakes, so let's see how wolves handle taking damage rather than dealing it. So due to their lower defense stat, wolves are going to be mostly relying on their agility to avoid.
So basically, you always want to face a wolf because the wolf is going to go for a sneak attack, yeah? Got it. Understanding.
Damage. They aren't totally defenseless. Their thick fur and general bulk does allow them to absorb a few blows if necessary, but it's mostly there for warmth, not combat. Their stealth stat is a similar story. Their gray fur overcoat does offer a moderate stealth bonus, but is primarily there for warmth and can be easily spotted except against a few specific backgrounds. As I sort of mentioned during the segment about caniform versus feliform builds, the perception stat is central to the wolf's game plan. Their ability to track scents is quite literally one of the best in the game, able to detect smells from miles away. But their top tier perception stat doesn't end at olfaction. Their sense of hearing is also exceptionally powerful. While many players believe the cat's hearing is superior, in reality they are roughly...
Is that a genuine belief? I've always run under the assumption that, you know, dogs and caniforms in general have better hearing. I honestly didn't know it was a common misconception that it was cats.
Equivalent in terms of pure sensitivity, but are fine-tuned for different purposes. Cats are much better at sensing higher-pitched sounds, allowing them to detect hidden prey nearby, such as the sound of a mouse breathing under the leaf litter. Wolves are better at sensing low rumbling sounds, meaning they can discern the location of larger prey from miles away. And the same is true for their eyesight. The cat's slitted pupils allow to strike smaller targets with perfect accuracy, but are not as useful as the wolf's large circular pupils for locking onto prey from a long distance. And as I've already alluded to, the wolf's above average intelligence stat enables some excellent options for teamwork and pack hunting. They can communicate and coordinate over great distances using their howl ability. The combination of teamwork and extremely powerful perception abilities allows wolves to control massive territories.
Yeah, that day never stood a chance.
We'll get more in depth into their hunting tactics in a bit. Mobility is their second highest stat, and this greatly assists in their ability to defeat players in higher weight classes. Simply put,
that's great. They take on grizzly. Have you seen like the claws of a grizzly bear? They are ridiculous.
Wolves have an incredible amount of stamina, and can run for longer distances than pretty much anything it could ever encounter. This makes sense, as being able to sense prey from a great distance wouldn't do much good if you had no ability to run them down. So when you add all of this up, just how effective of a build is the wolf? It really does come down to how effective their pack hunting abilities are. If you were to strip all of that away, I actually think the wolf would be mid at best. Their power stat is way below average for an apex predator.
But, you know, when we take into consideration teamwork is just a massive ability. Teamwork bumps even the lowest tiers all the way up to the top.
Being more in line with that of a scavenger or generalist build, there's no way a lone wolf is bringing...
I mean, think about it this way, like, in the lower weight classes, you've got, like, so let's say insects, for example. You've got all the lone insects, yeah, whatever, they're insects, they'll do whatever. Ants, termites, bees, the eusociology, whatever the fuck you say it. The teamwork bumps them up to the highest tiers possible.
Down one of the tundra server's many tanky herbivores. Yet, as a player, if all you want to do is grief smaller mammal builds like rabbits and squirrels, you're really better off playing as a smaller caniform, like a fox or a mink. In order to get the most out of a wolf's kit, you need to maximize the utilization of the wolf's perception and stamina perks, which are most effective at tracking and hunting larger herbivores. So, wolves really are stuck working together. They'd be wasting their potential.
Oh, sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I'm so tired.
Potential hunting only smaller builds, but aren't powerful enough to solo a large herbivore. Their kit only makes sense when viewed through the lens of pack hunting. And indeed, the lethality of the wolf's pack hunting tactics is undeniable. Through coordinated attacks and clever kiting, wolves are able to prove that their squads are much more cohesive than that of their targets, and split vulnerable members off from their teammates. And at that point, it really is just a waiting game. Now, it's worth noting that even in a group, it's often still too risky to just recklessly attack a tanky herbivore. Wolf mains tend to only attack a fleeing target, so as long as they...
That's what I was saying in the beginning of the video, so you don't ever want to flee. You want to... It's like a bear, you stand your ground. As soon as you flee, the bear's like, or the wolf is like, you're something worth getting. If you stand your ground, you're a lot more safer.
Hold their ground, they shouldn't take damage. But as they tire from fending off bluff strikes, and as their teammates get further and further away, most players will eventually try and make a break for it. And this is where the wolf pack will start dealing damage. By taking turns attacking their back end repeatedly, they'll eventually inflict the Bloodlust status effect, which slowly drains the target's HP, leading to a guaranteed game over, at which point the entire pack splits the loot. This is overpowered in and of itself, but where it really gets broken is when you re-examine the same tactic through the wolf-human team combo. Because all of the things that make the wolves pack hunting work actually function even more effectively when paired with a human. Humans and wolves are similar in that both are
as soon as you pair anything with a human, it's going to be overpowered, come on.
Exceptional distance runners, allowing them to naturally keep pace with each other and avoid slowing each other down. But in addition to having similar perks, they also cover each other's weaknesses and fill in the biggest gaps in each other's hunting strategy. Humans lack the same perception stat that wolves have. While they can use their intelligence to sort of supplement their weak sense of hearing and smell, there's really no substitute to just having a teammate who can lock onto a scent at a great distance and never lose it. But why do wolves need humans? You may remember, when wolves hunt, they can oftentimes reach an impasse due to their lack of ability to quickly deal lethal damage. Humans do not have this limitation, and can easily break the stalemate using one of their projectile weapons. The same is true on
Humans are too overpowered, man.
On defense. The wolf's sensory abilities can detect the approach of a dangerous enemy and alert the humans of the impending threat, a threat that wolves alone would struggle to drive away. And so domestic wolf and human hunter-gatherer players naturally made for an
Yeah, but this isn't a great team up and all, but it led to the creation of chihuahuas. So I'm going to have to minus points for that.
Unstoppable force that lasted through multiple balance patches, including the end of the Ice Age and the beginning of the Anthropocene. Eventually, after spending so much time cooperating, many wolf players began speccing their characters specifically to better synergize with humans, such as a passive mental health regen aura, and higher intelligence and better communication abilities, which allowed them to handle more complicated commands, eventually renaming their build entirely from wolf to dog. And because of their optimization towards collaboration, even as humans transitioned away from their hunter-gatherer playstyle, dogs still remained a relevant and high-tier choice for their party comp. This isn't to say that the wolf's only good interspecies combo is with a human, though.
Are we going to see a falcon? I have a falconry certification, so I am a fully licensed falconer. I've never actually used it, but I just got the qualification during my college course, so I know how to train a falcon. So if society ever collapsed, I'm going to be out there with a fucking falcon hunting. So yeah, sorry to brag, everyone.
Among the player base who remained wild, one solid combo is with the Raven.
Oh, the Raven. Yeah, I think I've heard of people training Ravens. They you can train them to like collect coins and stuff, can't you?
Or Crow. They will often seek out a wolf player and lead them to a carcass they'd found far away.
Oh, it's a synergy with the wolf, not with us. Okay, my bad. Yeah, I've heard about them synergizing as well.
These POIs are usually hotly contested and too competitive for a crow to capture by themselves. So, in exchange for leading the wolf there, the wolf will chase away the other players and share the remaining spoils with the bird. But anyway, in short, wolves broke the game by finding the perfect team comp and being the #1 choice of party member for the most overpowered build the game has ever seen. They were already debatably OP just hunting in wolf packs, but were at least sort of kept in check by their mid damage. But when that limitation is mitigated, their tracking and pursuit hunting abilities are truly unfair to play against. And that's why, despite me only giving wolves a rank of A tier on my canid tier list, when partnered up with
I didn't know there was a canine tier list. I've got so much to react to.
humanity, they are legitimately broken, giving dogs the rank of S tier.
Yeah, I agree.
Partnering up with other highly capable individuals is pretty much always the optimal strategy.
Are we getting into an advert right now? I think so.
And if you've followed my channel for any length of time, you've no doubt heard me talk about my favorite team combo, Nebula.
Smooth as always. Okay, again, guys, that's going to be my reaction to how wolves broke the game. And absolutely, they did break the game by, teaming up with ourselves. and transforming into dogs. They have revolutionized the teamwork combo with us. If you guys enjoyed this reaction, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that lovely stuff. I know I've got so much TierZoo to react to, so if you guys want to throw some suggestions in the comments to me, please absolutely do that. I know you've already suggested the deep sea one, which I've got to do at some point, but I know there's so many more. So let me know what you want me to do. Make sure you go check out TierZoo. Make sure you subscribe to myself. I'll see you in the next video. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.